Welcome, all my rebel friends. It is the build experience for 76668. If I can hold on to it straight, it is just the Rebel Scout Speeder. Super excited to build this set because, again, shout out to my mom for this as a birthday gift, and now I get to build this. I will say it came built, so I broke it down real quick, and then that way I could build it, get the full build experience. The great part about this set is it comes with 4 of these Rebel Scout Troopers, very similar to the Tantive. There's a whole squadron of these, so if you wanted to kind of build like a whole army of these guys, this is the battle pack for you, really. So we'll skip through that. These are the old schools. This was released in 2008, so this is like 15 years old. It opposed the Imperial dropship here that also came out that same year, and man, I can only imagine how much fun kids had building this. So let's get after it. I'm assuming this was created using kind of a... I don't know how much of the original parts this is. It's possible that they had to kind of use kind of their collection to get this up to speed. I noticed on the dropship a few of them were kind of... There's a few substitutes. It wasn't bad, though. Wasn't really anything too major. Interesting thing is these the instructions I find on the older stuff was definitely not as good as it is today, which is an interesting thing. Let's see, here we go. I should be able to kind of do this pretty quick, given that I've built it before. Also, a really fun fact for this is that I built it and then my system went dead on me, so I didn't capture the video. So this is technically second time building it for myself, and third time seeing the build because I broke it down, I built it, and I had to break it down again and then build again. So this is I'm getting very familiar with this set as I go, and and that's part of why I make... You might wonder, like, why do I make these videos and things like that? Because Journal of the Scots channel is really all about the build experience for me. It's about, learning. You think about it like, Ryan from M&R Productions, he was building and doing his thing for 13 years or so. I mean, for a super long time. And he has all that experience and knowledge, and he was making videos on it and all that kind of stuff. And he learned, and now he's a subject matter expert. And so that's what I'm kind of... I'll never be probably at his level. It would take me 10 more years to probably catch up to his level of knowledge. But I'm a huge fan of Star Wars, and so Lego, and learning all of the different things. I feel like I'm learning a lot of Star Wars lore along the way, especially when I do the reviews. And it's just it's all about continual learning as I'm building these sets. Now, some of these sets are not actually canon and not even part of the regular material, which is real interesting. But some of it is tied to canon, and there's a lot of like little Easter eggs and things like that. So I feel like I'm always learning on these things. And I feel like I can almost build this in my sleep because I've kind of done it before. Let's see here. This one. This is gonna go here. Let's see, what else did I miss? They get pretty far after. There's not a ton of steps in this one. This goes here. Oh wait, I got another set of these clips. I would consider this design, it's good, but it's kind of the old school you know, the vehicles were very flat and boring. There is going to be some stuff on the bottom to make it float, but it's kind of, you think about it, it's kind of not very realistic. So it's okay. There's a lot of cool parts in it, I would say, ultimately, and this is very well done, but at the same time, you know, it's kind of on the basic side. Probably these floating pieces at the bottom were kind of next level from, you know, set design. Kind of add that playability to it. It also is a great way to stabilize the sets, because you can kind of cover seams and stuff like that and strengthen it, so it kind of has multi-purposes as you're going. All right, here we go. Add the guns. That was the other thing too I noticed with a lot of sets from that are older, is that they have a lot of like guns just kind of thrown on the sides. Kind of ugly, if you ask me, but it adds to the play value. So from a play value standpoint, it's great. From a look, I mean, like who would set up their vehicle to have a bunch of guns on the outside? You know, probably be tucked in somewhere, or they would be ready to go. But some of these sets, the older ones, have some shockingly, given there's also a lot of piece limitations, or I should say part limitations, and pretty impressive if you think about it, what they were able to accomplish. Let's see, so this, given some of the limitations that they had. So, all right, here we go. Let me just make sure I'm doing it right. Oh. There it goes. Okay, and then put the studs in here. It's a pretty cool little feature. Each of these battle packs, the build itself isn't bad. I think the designers, again, we were talking about the parts limitations. They did some pretty fun things. I would say, especially from a playability standpoint, you know, and that's the I'm sure that was the key for them, was to create the playability needed to be there. Essentially, these are for kids, you know, big kids like me. So, you know, very interesting here. This is going to slide right down in here and be kind of that top turret. There we go. Get these on here. And all black antenna, which is nice. And this goes here. We got so it's a blue laser blast. That kind of unwieldy a little, but let's get a driver in here. Got a gunner. I mean, just think about this vehicle in real life. I mean, it's not very practical. This guy would get shot off in like 10 seconds. It's no protection. Just, you know, blasting it out. There we go. There's that dude. That's hilarious. Okay, so this goes here. And then this goes here. It's kind of a weird setup here as well, because they have this just kind of floating. So, I mean, it works. It did the job. And then we sit these guys in here. Let's see if it... Yeah, shows them in here. Oh. It's supposed to put these guys in first. I think it probably is easier to go back to forward. They're like jammed in here. Let's go. I think. Is there any space? Yeah. These guys in their helmets kind of make it tough. Oh, look at that. There it is. Yeah, alright. And then this can pop off. Oh, that's kind of slick how that is, actually. It can pop off and also be a standalone. These guys are just speeding off. Again, the playability is real cool, so stay tuned, the full review of me playing with this. And yeah, it's pretty fun. They talk that through in the instructions. You know, if a kid was to get a couple of these sets, a couple of the dropships, a couple of these sets, you could have a nice little fight, Rebels versus Imperials. So now I'm super pumped to have built this, put it in my collection. Oh, probably we'll break it down. Probably keep it built for a little while and then break it down for parts and add these bad boys into my collection. I think I have one or two other of these Rebel troops in this form, but I'd love to get a lot more. You really can't have enough Rebels in your army. So with that, thank you so much for joining me on my Rebel building experience, and we'll catch you on the next build. Bye for now.